We are out here at the
Hello.
Pioneer Trail again in Middleburg, Florida, at our favorite trail, the Pioneer Trail. And we'll be hiking with some new friends today and doing the entire length from Indian Ford through to Section 5. We're out here today with, I'll let everybody introduce themselves.
I'm Steve Joyce.
All right, and you're a volunteer out here.
I'm one of the Jennings Forest volunteers that help build and maintain the Pioneer Trail.
This is an amazing trail too.
It is,
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
love it.
Yeah.
And you are?
Josh Frazier.
All right. And
Hopefully.
this is son?
I am Ben.
Ben?
I am Josh Frazier's son.
Okay.
I'm here to enjoy the nice trail.
Excellent.
Awesome.
So a little shot of the Indian Ford section back here. It's the flattest section of the Pioneer Trail, but does have some cool little footbridges and very well maintained. All the volunteers out here are doing an absolutely tremendous job with maintaining this trail. So definitely a good place to come out if you're looking for something that's not very challenging with a lot of elevation changes. The Indian Ford section, or Section 1 as they call it, is a good choice. If you're looking for more elevation, a little more challenging, in sections 2, 3, 4, and 5, especially 3 and 4, probably the most challenging sections. A lot of beautiful things to see out here, little water areas and small waterfalls and overlooks. Yeah. If you're coming in from Indian Ford parking lot, all the blazes will be on your right hand side. So this is a right hand turn, arrow, go back down to this other arrow I just showed you. It's actually not where we came out. We came out the one I just walked from. And you take a right up here at the arrow and continue on the trail. So now we got that straight and added about half a mile to our day maybe. So, more calories burned. Yeah, this is a new bridge.
This creek being too high to cross, but it's not.
Yeah, no. It's
Yeah, so this is being built, like you said, now sometimes
Right now. And
the
as soon as we get lumber, we'll finish it.
yeah. And the bridge is being built, like you said, because this creek gets high, sometimes
Yes,
it
it
floods. Yeah.
Like,
You can
Well,
see
luckily-
how high the bridge is going to be.
Yeah,
And right here, is that what that sign says?
high water
Yeah.
creek crossing. So, but once the bridge is finished, we won't have to worry about that.
That's right.
All right. We're going to take a look at Bluff campsite on the Indian Ford Trail. And actually, if you take this little trail through Bluff campsite, it goes back out onto the trail, so you don't have to hike in and back out. But oh yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
And I'll take you down to the creek. It is on the creek.
Okay, it is on the creek
You
too.
can't see it, so it does have a water source.
So we got picnic table and we've got a fire ring. And Steve said we've got the water source right down here by the creek. Creek access 100 yards. So you walk down here, you can get some water if you need it. So this is the creek access to the campsite. You can see not too hard to walk down to. As with any water source, you definitely want to filter your water. Be safe. So very peaceful back here. So we're finishing Indian Ford section. And Indian Ford section is 2.5 miles. Yeah, Indian Ford 2.5 miles. And the camp zone is halfway in at 1.25 miles. Cross the road right here at Knight's Landing Recreation Area onto the Knight's Landing section. And Ellis Ford section, which will be section 3, is in 2.5 miles. So your Knight's Landing, Knight Station section is 2.5 miles, and again, halfway through, approximately 1.5 miles, is Chapman's camp zone, which we've done some videos on. It's a very nice campsite. And so section 1 complete, starting 2. It's one of the first little bridge crossings here in section 2. It's got some cables and the water's kind of shallow today, but it's running. You can get water here if you need it. Very nice out today. Section 2, pretty much going steadily uphill since we started section 2, mostly uphill. Not a steep grade, obviously. But gentle elevation change. A little different than section 1. Still an easy hike. Halfway through section 2, that's when the elevation starts changing. We've been going uphill quite a bit faster than previous areas. Had some climbs. This little area right here, I got a sign called Mount Regan. So, but yeah, we got a little bit of a downhill at the moment. But we had quite a bit of an uphill before this section here. We're in about a mile and a half. In section 2, you'll come to this little junction where you've got the upper trail here that you can take, or you can take this to the right, and this goes down to the Chapman's camp zone, and we'll show you that down here when we get to it. One of the nicest camping spots in my opinion out here. This is Chapman's campsite, and this is right here on Black Creek, as you can see over here. So you're right here at a water source again, or dip your feet in, take a swim, and it's got a nice fire pit and some log benches that they just recently built, picnic table. And yeah, we've stayed here several times. We actually have a couple of videos on Chapman's camp zone. And but yeah, real neat campsite if you get a chance to come out here and check it out. You're getting towards the end of 2. We've got 0.6 miles till the start of section 3 at Ellis Ford. Got this little overlook of Black Creek up here. Pretty cool. Very quiet. You can hear the water, birds. Yeah. And we'll be headed out that way on section 3 soon enough. We're almost to section 3, and coming up on one of the last bridges here on section 2. Just going to show it to you real quick. And you got this little bridge crossing here. And just down around the corner here will be the start of section 3. This is the trailhead parking for Ellis Ford, and trail goes this way.
I took this about 3 months ago with the DR.
On section 3, we're going to go see a bunch of cool spots. They've got the Many Seeps Walkway. They have the Mule Landing Camp and Osteen Overlook, Prescott Schoolhouse, and Duck Pond Falls. So lots of stuff to see on section 3, and we'll show you that here along the way. Now we are 1 mile from Dunn Cemetery and approaching the Many Seeps Walkway bridge that you can see down below. There's some cool switchbacks up here that lead down to it. So we'll take a look when we get down there. It's a little steep, but not too bad. Almost down to the bottom of the switchback here. And here's the bridge. And this is Paget Branch, Many Seeps Walkway. Very cool area. What do you think? Like it? It's one of
Really
the
awesome.
one of the coolest bridges out here.
Yeah.
Got some nice clear water running underneath it too. Another great place to collect water that's not tannic. It's nice and clean and clear. All right, so we've reached the turnoff to the Dunn's Cemetery, or Dunn Cemetery. It's 0.1 mile up here. We're gonna probably stop here and eat lunch. There's a little area and a picnic table and stuff, so we'll see you up there. All right, so this is the Dunn Cemetery. It's a nice, quiet, little peaceful spot. They've got a little kiosk explaining history and things up here, and a little picnic bench to stop and eat lunch, which is exactly what we're gonna do. Lunch at the cemetery and came right down here to Mule Landing Camp Zone, which is a nice campsite here on this section. I'll walk up here real quick just so you can see it. Just right off the trail. And they usually have firewood cut and stacked here, usually from some of the volunteers. And they have a nice fire pit. They have a little table and bench to sit at. And it's not a huge campsite, but you could put 2 or 3 tents up in here. And very nice place. And right down from here, I'll show you real quick. If you walk out this direction, walk straight out of the campsite, there's a bench that overlooks the creek. This is called Osteen Overlook. So you're right here near this part of the water. And this is a pretty overlook, and this is right on the trail. As you can see, the trail here. Trail goes right through here, right past Mule Landing Camp Zone. It's a nice bench. Camp zone is just right behind the bench. Okay, so just a little ways down further here, we're coming to a little bridge, and this is the end of section 3 of what they call Borden Branch, and the actual beginning of section 3 proper for the Pioneer Trail. Before we get to section 4, we're going to be going on to the Dunn's Farm Loop, or the Dunn's Farm Trail. If you take a left, goes out, and this is the one side of the Dunn's Farm Trail that loops around after the Dunn's Farm Trailhead. If you go right, that will also loop out to the other side of the Dunn's Farm Trail to the trailhead. But the blue and pink indicates that this is a shared trail, and this is the one that you take to get to section 4. And you'll see that down here once we get to the 4-way intersection. I'll show you what that looks like. But yeah, this pink and blue is the shared trail. So this is technically part of the Pioneer Trail, but it also is shared with the Dunn's Farm Trail loop. Is Prescott Falls. This is an amazing place to stop to fill up water. Whoops, I'm gonna slip there. Amazing place to stop and fill up water. Crystal clear, ice cold water. Nice little falls here to look at. Very nice quiet spot. It's got a little bench up here. Prescott Falls, what does everybody think about it?
The water's yummy.
Water's yummy?
Water's fantastic.
What do you guys think?
I just went swimming. It was great.
And he did.
Some really pure water.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming up to this part of the shared trail, we've got some little elevated climb here. It's got some gravel and wood steps. It's a pretty cool section. As you can see, it's a little bit of a climb. Lots of fun through here though. A lot of fun. A little ways up from Prescott, we've got Schoolhouse Falls. It's a little hard to catch on camera, but you've got a couple little waterfalls down here. Very pretty spot. It's got a little log bench up here to sit on. And after this, there's one more little set of falls, and then we'll get to the junction where the start of section 4 is. And right past those last little falls there is the next set. Our next little fall down here. Again, hard to get on camera. Nice little fall, only about a 3-foot drop maybe. And again, nice little peaceful area. You've got a bench to sit at. And this is Duck Pond Falls.
Yeah.
And we won't be too far now on down the shared trail here to the four-way intersection where we can hang a right onto section 4. Or hang a left and finish the Dunn's Farms Trail out to the Dunn's Farm Trailhead. Either way. Okay, so we have come to the four-way intersection. We just came out from this direction over here.
Should I do my thing?
If you come out, you can take the left here and follow the Dunn's Farm Trail to the trailheads about 0.9 miles, and there's also a campsite along the way. And if you go to the right from where we came out, or straight in if you come from Dunn's over this wooden bridge, that is the beginning of section 4. And that is the section with the most elevation on the Pioneer Trail.
Hey, Bear.
Oh, it seems that Lisa's mic is on right now.
It is on.
Oh, that's what is up with that?
I want to be heard. I'm important. I matter.
Would you like to walk across the bridge to section 4 first? We're at 10 miles for the day right now.
Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight.
Yes, I do live with her. And I do love her.
Sight on the side of it is. There's one of those over there.
I forgot one gone.
Okay, 2.8 left to Powell Ford Trailhead, and 1.6 to the end of section 5.
The end of the terminus.
To the end of the terminus, and then we'll turn around and head back to the Powell Ford Trailhead. So at that point, we should be at about 14 miles for the day. So we're right at 10 miles right now. Down here towards the end of section 4 is Neighbors Camp Zone, Harris Overlook, and in 1.1 miles, Cole Overlook. So we will check those as we go. We've come to Cole Overlook, and we're about 1.1 miles in on section 4. And we've got a nice little overlook here.
Oh, wow.
Again, of Black Creek.
It was so fast, it only took me about 2.5 hours to get to the boat ramp. But I had to be so careful because if I ever got pushed into a tree.
Yeah.
And we're about to start getting to the faster changing elevation areas here on 4. It's been a little bit of climbing up and down so far, but it's going to get a little bit more as we go along. We'll show you along the way. Right past the overlook, there's a split in the trail where you can take the Carter View High Trail or the water bypass. The water bypass goes down and then back up. The high trail obviously stays high and goes back down. So we're going down here to take a look at some stuff down here that Steve wants to show us. And we'll see what's going on down here. This is at the bottom. This is Carter's Creek View. And got a nice view of the creek over here. And the trail from here goes back up. See where you start to run into a little bit more of the elevation changes. And it's hard to tell on camera the steepness of the elevation changes here. They're not long, but they are steep, especially for Florida. And here's where the high trail comes out, back onto the trail here. Part of the trail does a little turn down a switchback to Youngblood Branch is called, with a little bridge down here. Cool little section. Across the spring-fed stream again. And up switchbacks over on this side. I don't know if you can tell from people in front of me the elevation climb out of here. So, very unique for this part of Florida, any part of Florida actually. All right, we've now come to another little intersection here where we've got the Mosley's upper loop or the Nolan's lower loop. We're going to take the lower loop down towards the creek again. And I'm going to take a look. This is still all section 4.
My feet are hurting so bad I have to stop.
Section 4 is the second to newest part of the Pioneer Trail, with section 5 being just recently opened. And we'll get to that in a little bit. We started at the beginning of the Pioneer Trail, Indian Ford. We're now about 12 miles in for the day. And yeah, it's a nice little area down here. And a shot of Black Creek again. This is very pretty back in this area. But we got a little bit of a climb out of here, as you can see. Steve's way up there, continuing the trek up. And so up we go. No stoppy to the toppy. All right, we're in about 12.35 miles for the day here on section 4 now. And we've got Hill Branch, this is called. We got a little footbridge over a little stream here. We've had some really nice steep elevation changes in the second half of 4. That's why we love it out here. It's just, like I said, said before a million times, very unique to this area or any area of Florida to have these elevation changes. And kudos to all the volunteers and the people who built this trail to replicate the Appalachian Trail as much as humanly possible for this area of Florida. And they've just done a tremendous job. And Steve, thank you very much as one of the volunteers.
Enjoyed every minute, every step of our walk.
Yeah, and to Dennis and everybody else involved. And this is Sanderson Branch, a little footbridge. And pretty soon we'll be to the camp zone towards the end of section 4, and we will show you that when we get there. Getting closer to the end of section 4, we're now at Harris Overlook.
I want a Coke.
You want a Coke?
I want a Coke. Coke.
We'll get one when we're done today. That will be your present for finishing the day.
A Coke?
Coke.
I'll take it.
Okay. Maybe a big old pizza or something later.
Oh, pizza.
But yes, Harris Overlook is very pretty again. Another area with Black Creek here. So not far from the end of section 4 is Neighbors Camp Zone. This is the campsite on section 4. And not a far hike in from the Powell Ford Trailhead. And actually when I hike from there out, I'll let you guys know exactly how far in from the Powell Ford Trailhead it is. And it's just a short walk back in here. This is considered a group campsite. This is a little larger campsite than the others. So we got a little log bench over here. Oh yeah, it's a much larger campsite. We got room for plenty of tents around here. We've got a picnic table, some more log benches, plenty of room in here for several tents. And as with all of them, we've got a nice fire ring here with some wood log seats. Kind of come over here and give you a better view of actually how large this campsite is in here. So, yeah, good size, good size. So, yeah, this is Neighbors Camp Zone towards the end of section 4. Okay, so we just finished section 4 here at Powell Ford Road, and that was 3/10 of a mile from the campsite. So if you're parking at Powell Ford and want to hike into that campsite, it would be 3/10 of a mile from the Powell Ford Trailhead, which that's a short little hike. We're going to take a break just for a minute and continue on over here to section 5 to the terminus of the Pioneer Trail, and then come back. All right, so we're crossing over Powell Ford Road onto section 5. This is the newest section of the trail. Every trailhead has a map, shows everything here. And besides this one, at most kiosks they have trail maps you can pick up that show all the sections of the trail as well. And but this is the beginning of section 5 here. It's not, it doesn't have a whole lot of elevation, but it is a pretty hike. And it ends down here at the, right across from the Black Creek Recreation Area. From what I hear, they're going to be putting an RV park in there as well eventually. And at some point, once that is done or if during the construction, the state will be adding a bridge across, so the Pioneer Trail will actually cut across the creek into the recreation area. All right, this is Terminus Branch. There's a little first footbridge here in on section 5. We got about 0.7 or 0.8 more till the terminus of the Pioneer Trail and at Black Creek Recreation Area. So we'll soon be there. We'll show what that looks like. And then we'll be hiking back out and finishing our day there. We're parked at Powell Ford Road Trailhead. A little bit further into section 5 here, getting towards the end. Probably just a short few tenths of a mile to the terminus. There is Thompson's Branch. Thompson's Branch, and it's another little creek with some nice flowing water back here. And a nice little footbridge, a little painted one. Like I said, really not a lot of elevation change here on 5, but it is a pretty hike. And very nice and quiet. I just wanted to show this all to you. You got some nice gravel and rock they've put in here. You've got this little swampy water area.
I hear people playing at the North Fork.
Very pretty. And got a really nice bridge they put in. It's called John's Walkway. And this is a nice another little nice painted bridge. This is very nice back here. So we have reached the northern terminus of the Pioneer Trail. We have gone from the southern to the northern terminus with our little side treks to water sources and such. Right now we have done 15.4 miles today, and we have another 1.7 back to the vehicle at Powell Ford. So we'll probably be completing approximately about 17 miles today in total. It's been a great day. The weather has been perfect. Steve, I want to thank you again for being our tour guide today, and all the volunteer work you do is absolutely phenomenal. To you and all the rest of the volunteers, take our hats off to you, and keep on doing what you're doing. Great job. So,
Thank you very much. We literally love the work we do. We are passionate about it, and we hope as many people as possible will enjoy this Pioneer Trail.
thank you again.
All right.
So it's been a great hike. The weather has been perfect.
Yep.
And
Time for pizza and beer.
time for pizza and beer. Yeah, we're going to go hit Vito's. We've been recommended here over in off of Blanding in Middleburg to get some calzones and such. So I think we'll be doing
Calzone
that.
and beer.
Yeah. So again, and as always, we hope to see you outside.
Outside. Good job, guys. Did I miss my?
Hey, Josh.